Let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea, our land abounds in nature's gift of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every state advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advanced Australia fair.
To earn their rights to play for the 2019 Championship Women Big V title. A very good evening to all of those watching within Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, or even around the globe. We're here at Eagle Stadium to see the Devils and the Thunder. Steve Chalmers, my name, and I'm very honoured to welcome to the broadcast the Youth League program head coach at Werribee, Mr. Mason Rogers. Welcome.
Thank you, Steve. Great to be here.
It's going to be an excellent contest, obviously, as I mentioned, that these two teams well and truly earned their right to be facing off for the championship. And they're both going for their first championship women's titles.
Yeah.
As you can see on screen, a very good crowd coming into Eagle Stadium. And we'll have a look at the journey to the grand final for these two teams. Werribee, who finished the regular season in third place, had a qualifying final and were knocked off by the Keilor Thunder 62-88 in the first week of the postseason. Georgia Tauschke had 15 points. Alexis Violatama had 12. But most importantly, Mason, no Alicia Jenkins and Sarah Ellsworthy very well held.
Yeah, I think that Keilor had a really great game plan and it worked perfectly against the Devils in the last one. But hopefully Reese and Corey have made the necessary adjustments and we can go and see a different result tonight.
Jenkins missed the last four contests of the regular season after going down injured, in fact, in a game against the Thunder. She returned in the semi-final to defeat Hume City 73-51. Jenkins the star in that one with 25 points and 12 rebounds. And then just last weekend in the preliminary final they defeated Sunbury by 3 points. Maxine Allen with 19 points in that one and Violatama with a double-double. We flick over to the Keilor Thunder. As we mentioned, they had that qualifying final where they knocked off the Devils 88-62. Erin Bowman, excellent in that, 17 points, 9 rebounds and 6 assists. You're going to be hearing her name a lot tonight.
100%. She was honestly unguardable and she's had a brilliant year. She'll be one of the leaders for MVP this season, so it'll be really exciting to see her go up against the Devils. And then in a qualifying final just a fortnight ago, they knocked off the Jets as well, 80-74. Bowman, as we mentioned, very good, 29 points, 11 rebounds and 4 assists. Alan Kett, 12 points and 6 assists in that one. As we're touching just on 2 minutes prior to tip-off, let's take a look at some of the keys to the game. We start with the Devils. Let's look at some key players. We mentioned Jenkins already, but Sarah Ellsworthy has been fantastic for the team this season. Honestly, she's had a brilliant year. You know, the way that she can get into transition, come off the pick and roll and find people, score. She had a brilliant year, and congratulations to her because she earned herself a WNBL contract in the way there.
Correct, that's right. Re-signing with the Adelaide Lightning off the back of an excellent Big V season in 2019. We look to Keilor. We mentioned Bowman, nearly 24 points a game this season, nearly 11 rebounds and 5 assists. She's doing it all for the Thunder. But more so, Anita Bendelovsky playing second fiddle, averaging around 17 points per game has been excellent. Some of the keys to this game, rebounding. It's going to prove critical. It proves crucial in most grand finals. But you've seen the likes of Steph Collins and Erin Bowman who, you know, as we just said, 11 rebounds a game. On the flip side, Alicia Jenkins is just a rebounding machine.
Yeah, Keilor finished the season averaging over 10 field goals more than anyone else, and a lot of that comes down to their pressure on defense and their dominance on the glass. But I think Werribee were, up there as well. I think they finished third in rebounds, and that's going to be realistically one of the big battles.
First in offensive rebounds, the Thunder. Second in offensive rebounds, the Devils. A key reason why these two teams are playing off tonight in the big dance. Points in the paint is the other one, and that is advantage Keilor. 49 points in the paint per game this season compared to Werribee's 34, and a lot of that has to do with Erin Bowman slashing.
Yeah, she is so strong, finishes well, and can really pass. She's so comfortable with the ball in pressure situations, finding teammates. They cut real well off her. It's a testament to the coach and the system he's implemented.
And if you're looking to advantage Werribee, it's the three-point shooting. Just over 8 per game at 31%. Keilor not as good, 6 per game at 25%. So the Devils will be lighting it up from downtown in comparison to just pounding the ball inside for the Thunder. That's probably what you're looking out for tonight. Previous meetings, well, it's one apiece in the regular season. We touched on the qualifying final, which gives the Thunder the slight advantage. But there are 2 blowouts. Keilor won by a cricket score here back in round 2. And then Werribee did the same when they went on the road to Keilor Basketball Stadium.
Yeah, the first round, I don't believe either of the imports or Sarah here for Werribee. And again, I think a little bit similar to the final. Werribee's game plan just proved a little bit better on the game. But these teams are so well matched that, this I'm pretty sure will come down to the wire.
So as you can see, players making their way onto the floor. Starters for the Eagles: Maxine Allen, Sarah Ellsworthy, Georgia Tauschke, Alexis Violatama and Alicia Jenkins, while there's been a change for the Keilor Thunder. Steph Collins to the bench, and more importantly, they're only suiting up 8 players tonight, which is somewhat surprising for a grand final, Mason.
Yeah, they ran heavily through these 8 players during the regular season, and it's a very, very experienced group, but I'm sure the coach knows best, and I'm not sure whether it was injuries or whatnot, but again, it's still a tough group to go play up against.
Jenna Anderson misses there. Bandelovsky, the offensive rebound. Starters for the Thunder: Bandelovsky, Alan Kett, Erin Bowman, Alexis Harrison and Jenna Anderson. And we are well and truly underway. Game 1 Championship Women Grand Final for 2019. As Maxine Allen gets the scoring underway with, you wouldn't believe it, a deep three-pointer.
Yeah, she's really found her form the last couple of weeks. Obviously got caught on fire, hit 4 threes against Sunbury, but it's fantastic for someone who works that hard.
Jenkins picks the pocket out of Bowman, and it comes off Bowman as it rolls out of bounds. The Devils will take possession. We're going to touch on this throughout the night as well. Tom Bandelovsky, the head coach of Keilor. However, a little bit of a change on the Devils bench. Reese Potter away with the under-17 Australian team for the Oceania Championships. They've just won gold. Congratulations goes out to Reese, but therefore someone's filling his spot.
Yes, Corey came across the club from Nuttawading 2 years ago and has assisted Reese last year. He spent the first 6 months of this year in Europe, but he has just stepped into the role. He manages the personalities and manages the emotions of the game so well, and in finals basketball, that's what a lot of this comes down to.
So a big shout out to Corey Michaelidis. Obviously was the head coach last week, filling in Reese Potter's role, got them here, and is doing the job again tonight as Jenkins makes her way to the free throw line and connects on the first one. Had a storied career already, Alicia Jenkins, in her young career. Spain, Finland, now making her way to Australia, and is dominating in everywhere she goes.
Yeah, she's. It's so interesting how players can, make contracts off working hard, but that's her biggest skill. She just outworks everyone. Training, games, does not matter what. She'll find a way to go and make an impact.
Bandelovsky, 3 doesn't go. Fights her way to get an offensive rebound. Harrison does the exact same thing and puts it back in. That's 3 offensive rebounds already, and we're not even 2 minutes in to the contest. Ellsworthy, short, stops, turn around. That's the J. It's a quick 7-2 lead to the Devils. And the home side is loud. They're already loving it.
Yeah, it's fantastic to be able to pull out the grandstand and get this many fans out to go and support. It just shows how much this program's been built over the last 2 years. And a lot of that credit goes to Reese and the board, Paul Jones, and the fantastic job they've done.
No, absolutely love it. You mentioned the grandstand pulled out. You can see that on the broadcast throughout the night. It's not often you get to do that here at Werribee, but when you do, the fans come in droves.
Yeah, exactly. It shows the support. With Werribee is such a nice up and coming club. If this hopefully goes and sets the tone and then keeps building each year, it'll be a fantastic spectacle for years to come.
Bandolowski at the line. Maxine Allen picking up the personal foul. First team foul. And I'll tell you what, in a cutthroat finals game, usually we're talking about nerves early on. The Devils, they've just looked like they've slotted straight into standard practice.
Yeah, look, they had 2 really good trainings led by Corey again during the week. But as I said, Corey's biggest asset is that he just manages players, so I'm sure he has them all on the same page. And on top of that, you've just got a lot of players that have experienced this. Maxine Allen was in the final 2 years ago. Sarah, Nudie, Alyssa Jenkins, Alexis, and Georgia was in a Siebel Grand Final a few years ago. So there are a lot of big-time players on this roster.
Now, you just on that, you pre-warned me before we went on air, Nudie, and you've just already corrected yourself once. Let's just let the viewers know, obviously you're entrenched in the Devils, the senior women's program, and also the youth women's program, but Nudie, Alicia Jenkins you're referring to, that is her nickname?
Yes, so Alicia, when she was younger, picked up the nickname Nudie and loves it, and that's her preferred, that's what she likes to call it. She doesn't like being called Alicia, and if I ever say X, then that's referring to Alexis. That's her nickname.
Wonderful. Alexis Violatama, X. And if Nudie comes out, we're not being rude. It's Alicia Jenkins.
It did go and take a while to go and get used to, that's for sure.
Here's Allen. Penetrating. Oh. Great little move, and it's a top finish as well. She really stood out last weekend to push past Sunbury. She's been a solid contributor all season, obviously just over 7 points per game, season high of 19, but that 19 was all more important in that preliminary final.
Yeah, look, I was very, very fortunate when I was a player doing an OTP to train with Max, and she was the toughest person there, no doubt. Fundamentally, she's perfect, and yeah, there are very few people you'd rather on your team.
Here's Kett. 2 feet in the paint again. Nearly stripped by Ellsworthy. Did just enough to affect the shot. A long pass. Alexis Harrison had 2 hands on it but couldn't contain it.
I know this is a basketball game, but could you imagine X going playing WAFL? Man.
I can tell you there'd be a few Big V stars that would be handy at another trade.
That's for sure.
We don't want to encourage it though.
No, not at all. We'd rather them stay in basketball.
We'd love them stay in our sport. That's what they're good at. That's what we love watching them do each and every week. Here's Ellsworthy. Pick and roll with Jenkins. Decides not to use it. Goes the other way. Falls short. Here's Bowman. Transition, but she's going to have to pull up. Kett. Nice hesitation. Finds an open lane. Can't finish. Jenkins the rebound. Cheap foul given away there by Jenna Anderson.
Devils seem to be quite comfortable just coming in. They're getting through their staff, and that was a big difference in the last game. I think Keilor's pressure really got to them and pushed them out of their sets. So it's really good to go and see them just being calm, relaxed, and doing what Reese does best. Reese's teams generally do best, which is executing and finding high percentage shots.
Ellsworthy, drive, kicks out. Pisano. Nice pass inside from Bowman to Anderson. It just was too much.
The way that she throws the ball is phenomenal.
Harrison gets the friendly roll from downtown. And that gets her going.
Yeah, look, was someone who, if she hits her first one, can go and hit a couple, but so that could be worrying signs for the Devils.
Jenkins inside, kick out, Thunder playing a zone.
Yeah,
As a runner. Jenkins, the offensive rebound.
Always the issue with playing in a zone is it's very, very, very hard to box out. So,
kick back out. Pisano for 3 again.
There
Third time's the charm. Kett up ahead. Bandolowski. Great transition work. Foul doesn't go.
and that's going to be a lot of the game. You know, Keilor were by far the best team in transition this year, but again, the second best was Sunbury, and Werribee did a really great job of keeping them just one transition basket last week. So if their defensive transition can be as good as last week, then I think they've got a shot.
After the foul was called on Tauschke, she was a little bit lucky not to be given a warning as she just disposed of the ball the wrong way, but she's checked out of the game. Maddie Borg comes in for the Werribee Devils.
Player that came across to the club from Collingwood last year.
Collingwood, yes.
Yes, Wojcika just, you know, got into the gym, didn't expect 10 minutes, just worked her way into a really good rotation role, and, you know, again, is a great ambassador for our club.
As you can see on the broadcast, some lovely courtside seats for some #1 fans. The Werribee Devils, the youthful, are out certainly in support, but that's a bad turnover. Harrison, and speaking of the youthful, they are not just front row.
They're on the court.
They are well and truly in the action. As we quickly get that little tacker to safety.
Honestly, I can't say that if Harrison was coming at me with a head of steam that I'd go and stand in front of her, and I doubt that kid would have wanted to do the same thing.
He's young enough not to know yet that he can do that. I tell you what, it was an absolutely tactical move by the Devils' home crowd because Harrison had a wide open layup.
Yes. Watch go. Maybe something that Corey was working on at practice during the week.
We have a stoppage in play, just making sure that we're on the right track with timings, shot clocks. Obviously, possession isn't an issue. Officials talking to some of the head honchos at Werribee just to make sure, look,
doesn't happen again.
We love them close by, but not too close.
Exactly.
Fans are the lifeblood of this game, so we loved it. Bowman strong to the hoop. Jenkins will be called with the foul.
She does such a good job of coming back into your body, and you know it puts a lot of pressure on the defense to go and keep their hands out. I know one of the things that Reece really prides himself on their team, the teams that he coaches, their foul discipline. They showed that throughout the year. I think they were, you know, the second or third best team in not giving up fouls.
It's definitely going to be a matchup we're going to be speaking about a lot tonight, and I was looking forward to seeing it. Bowman and Jenkins hasn't disappointed in this.
And to add to the excitement on the Werribee end, Jenkins going and picking up Bowman. That's a slightly different matchup, considering that Jenkins generally goes and plays the 5, but definitely will be entertaining.
Here's Borg, Pisano, Ellsworthy swinging it round, back foot on the sideline. That's a coach killer, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Honestly, that you go and get good action, force a closeout that you'd feel confident in Sarah to go and blow by Harrison, but give it all back.
Here's Kett, walks. So a couple of unusual turnovers. It's not common for these two teams.
Especially not for those two players. You know, Ellsworthy is a big-time player, and so is Kett. She is, when the pressure gets on, she's proven to go and be fantastic. She, as much as Bowman and Bandolowski were very, very, very good in their game, I really do think that she was really the difference maker in their last meeting.
And I mentioned earlier that we saw the Thunder in that zone, which I thought was quite surprising because I was expecting more of the up-tempo press, get out and run. They're the #1 team in the competition for pace. The Devils, arguably the opposite. They're second last.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised to see Keilor get out and run and gun. The Devils are more half-court oriented.
Yeah. go and get through their sets, execute, get the shots they want. They know they're going to shoot at a high percentage.
Ellsworthy into Violetama. Step back. That one's short. Ellsworthy runs in, gets the board. Jenkins. They decide to start again. Through Pisano. Violetama.
Oh, right idea.
Tough inside look. Jenkins puts her hand up and says, "That's okay. I didn't catch it." 14-11. Just under 4 minutes remaining in this first term. Kett inside. Anderson strong to the basket. That one's a little short and a little tough off the glass, but they will retain possession.
Anderson's done a great job all year of just being an absolute workhorse, great hustle player. Really, really smart cutter, so wouldn't be surprised if she gets a couple of backdoor cuts, especially off Bowman drives.
Sam Moody coming into the game for Alyssa Jenkins. We've also seen Steph Collins check in for the Thunder a moment ago.
Steph Collins has improved so much this year. I know speaking to Liam Glascott, the director of coaching up at Keilor, he just lauded her work ethic this past year, getting in the gym, trying to do individual sessions to improve, and with just improving that skill set, she adds another dimension to them, especially due to her size.
Foul called on Sam Moody. The Devils in the bonus for the first term, so Collins will head to the free throw line. Well, you spoke about a little bit of upskilling from Collins. I'm hoping for Liam Glascott's sake he wasn't teaching the bank off the glass for the free throw line.
I mean, if it goes in, it goes in. That's all that matters, doesn't it?
That is true. Devils fans up in arms. Didn't believe that was going to be a Thunder possession.
I'm sure you'll hear a little bit of that tonight. They were extremely loud last week, which was great to go and see the atmosphere out at Sunbury.
Violetama running the floor. Pisano, that one's good with the right hand. They try to stretch that lead back out to 4. Kett inside Bowman. 2 feet back in the paint. Turns left. Tough shot, fouled.
She's so tough to stop, especially when she goes into your body. I think she's shooting 66% or 69% inside 8 feet this year. Like, it's just, her efficiency is amazing.
She's just seemed to craft herself to be that perfect prototype for championship women at Big V.
Yeah, look, she can realistically, you can run her at the 1, she can guard up to 4s. She's such a tough mismatch. Especially the way she handles the ball. She's very, very crafty. Obviously wants to go left, but she's so crafty at going right, making a quick counter, getting back to her left. She's an extremely complete player.
Makes both there. And we'll see Chloe Hildebrand for the first time. We'll also see Lauren Jones for the Devils as Pisano checks out for the Devils and Jenna Anderson for the Thunder.
Keilor going to their 1-3-1 zone. It's be interesting.
Here's Jones. Now Tauschke. Ellsworthy picks up a dribble. May have got away with a double dribble there. Inside turnover anyway. Ball is loose for a long time. But the Thunder end up with it. And now they're out and running. 3-on-2. Collins. Strong to the basket. Was it too strong? It was. Georgia Tauschke just gets enough in the way. You can see on the replay screen, gets some good body position.
Yeah, Collins just dropped her shoulder there. Honestly, Georgia just, at the end of the day, some players just come up with winning plays. And that's Georgia in a nutshell. Rebounds, defensive possessions, whatever it is, just really brilliant.
Here she is again, top of the three-point line. Quick hands from Bowman. Euro step, and it was great D from Ellsworthy. She was in a little bit of trouble as it was Bowman. Vandelovsky short.
And that'll put them in the bonus.
As it looks like Kett has picked up the foul. We'll get confirmation from the official. Yes, Ellen Kett. That's her first personal. 2.5 minutes in the first quarter. Who's some of our leading scorers so far?
For the Devils, Max Allen has 5 points, and Danny Pisano has 5 points off the bench. And then for the Thunder, Harrison has 5 and Bowman has 4.
Tauschke's first one just rolled out. That one bounced. Got the back iron. Empty trip there for the Devils. Here's Bowman. Devils into their zone defence.
They did a great job of executing their zone against Sunbury last week. Played it for most of the fourth quarter and just forced tough shots. And Corey just stuck with his guns, and in the end it worked out to be the winning formula.
Shot clock was winding down there. Bowman got one up. Bandolowski, excellent offensive rebound. The rebounding's well and truly on display in this first term, as is the quick hands from Bowman. Second time this quarter. Great find to Bandolowski, who's running the lanes with her.
So I know Corey spoke during the week. You know, she's just so elite at, you know, she shoots a 3-point shot at a good percentage, but she's so elite in transition. She's extremely quick and just effort the entire game.
Violetama, Ellsworthy for 3. Yes.
Wow.
It's exactly what the home crowd want to see, is Sarah Ellsworthy getting hot.
They could be in a bit of trouble.
Throws it away. Kett does extremely well to find a way to remain inbounds and keep possession. Bowman for 3 to try and return favour. Doesn't. Violetama picks up a foul though for hooking.
That'll be 2 on X.
As you can see, just having a quick discussion in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen.
Yeah. I think it's what a lot of American imports go and struggle with coming over here, is just the slight different way that they call fouls over in the US compared to here. But again, smart players will work through that.
Steph Collins at the line.
And another rebound for Jenkins.
Finds Ellsworthy. They start their set again.
This 1-3-1 zone's done a really, really good job of disrupting Werribee. Not getting through their offense quite as well, but
Tauschke for 3.
as soon as I say that, then they knock down a 3.
Well, you're spot on though. Bowman's quick hands at the top of that perimeter zone has been causing all sorts of troubles for the guards, but once they can sort of fight past that, get in the paint, kick it back out, that's where they're winning. And another uncharacteristic turnover there from Chloe Hildebrand, stepped on the sideline.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about the 1-3-1 zone, is that it gives up space, but you know, generally you go and run a 1-3-1 to try and force teams into shots they don't usually shoot or force them out of their offense. And as long as Werribee can be patient, move the ball, still keep getting it inside, I think they'll go and find that they're able to keep getting good shots.
I think that's the matchup the Werribee Devils will be looking to target. Jenkins just got that extra quickness over Steph Collins.
Honestly, she, I think with Jenkins' athleticism, she could have really done anything she wanted in sport, you know, whether it be 400-meter running or basketball or any other thing. She's just such a good athlete.
A couple of power moves there from Bowman, just can't get the finish, and that is the end of one. Your Werribee Devils have the earlier ascendancy, 24-16. Let's take a look at some of the statistics from the opening quarter. There's Alicia Jenkins on screen as we head into the Werribee Devils huddle.
As we had said, Max finished with 5 points. Sarah Ellsworthy finished with 5. Alicia Jenkins 6, and Danny Pisano 5. So, you know, a good spread of scoring for the Devils. For the Thunder, Bandolowski finished with 4 points. Bowman finished with 4. Harrison finished with 5.
And I think it'll be an ongoing trend in this game that we'll look at the rebounding counts, because we've already touched on it pre-game, and throughout some of the first quarter, Bowman grabbing a number of offensive rebounds. Jenkins cleaning up the glass as well.
Yeah, what you call it? Keilor went and finished with 12 rebounds, but they had 9 offensive rebounds in that quarter, which I'm sure Corey will be speaking about in his timeout. Whereas the Devils, they had 9 defensive, 3 offensive rebounds. So
So there you go, the Thunder having multiple chances but find themselves down 8 after collecting 9 offensive rebounds. Obviously, a few of them going to Erin Bowman and Anita Bandolowski, who we've touched on pre-game. They're the two, I'm thinking, for the Thunder to find themselves back in this contest. Obviously, it's only an 8-point deficit, but Bandolowski just loves playing Werribee. Obviously, she's averaged the 17 points per game this season, but against Werribee, it even goes up a notch. 21 points per game, and she shoots nearly 50% from the field. It's been on display already in this first term. She is arguably, I know she's good, but she could nearly be the underrated part of the Keilor Thunder side.
Most definitely. Their guard play is really key in this. You know, if Bandolowski can get out in transition and go and find some easy points, that'll go and lead to her generally going shooting the three-point shot a bit better. And Ket, same thing. If she can get comfortable, she'll go and have a, you know, she could be really trouble. So real trouble. But as you said, like, you know, the three-point shooting for Werribee, they've started off 4 from 5 from the three-point line, which means that the Keilor coach may look to go and get out of his zone, but we'll see what happens.
Would certainly please the Devils huddle at quarter time. 4 or 5 from deep, and they'll be saying, well, if you find that open look, just continue to knock it down.
Exactly. Corey coaches with one general rule, which is the 3 is worth more than the 2, so I'm sure he'll be very, very, very happy with that.
Here's Collins, finds a cutting Bowman inside again. That one's a tough finish.
Yeah.
Could be the recipe to get her going as well, and there's a lot of pressure in this backcourt. The ball finally finds a guard in Ellsworthy. And now with Hildebrand going down, they'll be looking to push the pace.
100%. She did a fantastic job against Werribee last time they played. Hitting open shots, playing in transition.
Jenkins blocked by Bowman, but got a bit of arm on the way up as well. It's the first time we've seen Jess Slade in the lineup as well, the 16 for Werribee.
Honestly, Jess has been so great for culture coming across from Sunbury. You know, rocks up to training, plays hard, is really experienced. Again, another player that's been in these big moments, and I'm sure will go and help some of the younger players go and understand the gravity and how to deal with it.
I was going to say that championship pedigree would obviously go leaps and bounds for the Devils to try and take that extra step and get over the hump. Jenkins a pair of free throws. It's back out to 8.
It'll be interesting when Keilor get back on defense, going back to more of their traditional pressure defense, because that's probably the thing that Werribee struggled with last time. So it'll be interesting to see if the Devils can go and adjust.
Ket Bandolowski for 3. That one was set and forget. That one was good from the moment it left her hands. More pressure here, double teaming Ellsworthy in the corner.
Definitely not where you want to catch it.
Here's Jones pushing up the floor, crossover. Back to Ellsworthy, and they'll just settle the tempo, get through their set, as we've talked about before. Jenkins, hard.
Good.
Picked up.
Oh, sorry, my apologies. You bring up Jones, you know, such a great success story for Werribee. You know, has played here since under 12s, built her up. She's now bottom age 18s and getting, you know, really, really good minutes now, state champ women. You know, it's a testament to the junior coaches of this club who've been able to go and build up great players, and it shows a really good pathway.
Absolutely fantastic. It's what we want to be promoting throughout each association across Victoria. Obviously that pathway where you can start at virtually any age. And you can work your way up through one association. And we're seeing the Devils reap the rewards with Lauren Jones. So we see Maxine Allen check back into the game, as we do Jenna Anderson. Here's Werribee just starting to try and match the intensity with a little bit of full court man, but it's certainly not as aggressive as the Thunder in this quarter.
No, I think they've gone back to their 2-2-1 press into 2-3 zone. Oh.
There's a foul on the floor. That one's on Georgia Tauschke.
Yeah. Corey just having some words with the referee, just checking the call.
As you can see in the background of that shot, just some of the Devils faithful just pouring in. They're continuing to come in as well for this grand final Game 1 contest at Eagle Stadium.
And there's Jenna Anderson, as we spoke about at the start, just has been fantastic all year. Rebounds, cutting, all the basic stuff the coaches love.
Bowman for 3. That's 5 in the quarter, and I'm just sensing that that is something that's going to get her going. That tough inside look to start the quarter, followed by a 3.
Honestly, she's a multifaceted defender, offensive player, can score from all 3 levels of the game. Would not be surprised if she's on an NBL 1 roster next season.
It's a great point. She's been one of the competition leaders in Championship Women this season and would be an MVP favourite come the 14th of September on Big V Awards night.
I think, it's very, very awesome to go and see these two teams, because I think realistically, at least from what I've watched, and I might be slightly biased, but I think Jenkins and Bowman have 100% been the two standouts this year for everything they do for their programs.
And they've certainly done enough to get their respective sides to the grand final. As another turnover and attempted transition, but it could go the other way here with Ellsworthy with ball in hand. That's a poor pass which Bowman could easily pick off, but there's no call anywhere.
Let's go back to the Devils.
And Erin Bowman just looks a little bit perplexed, as you can see that on the Sportscast replay screen. There's a timeout on the floor.
Corey Michaelides just wants to talk things over.
It's a 2-point contest in favour of the home side, the Werribee Devils. What have you liked so far in this game? We've had that opportunity for both teams just to sort of settle down, find their rhythm. And is it going to take some individual brilliance, or is it going to be a team orientated just based off the first 13 or so minutes we've seen in this contest?
I think as much as it's started off as a team-oriented process, I think at the end of the day you'll go and start seeing both teams start isolating some of their better matchups. Isolating Bowman at the high post of their first action, or playing Ket off their little get action with the high, when they throw the ball to the big the middle of the three-point line and play off it. For the Devils, they played so well out of the high post with their 2 great imports. I think you'll see more of that as the game goes on.
As you can see, some of our highlights throughout the first quarter and change.
Also, it's awesome that we have Sportscast Australia here. Like the product that they're putting on is fantastic and it's great for everyone at home who couldn't get down to the game to be able to see such elite basketball.
Absolutely. We thank our production partner and broadcast partner, Sportscast Australia. It's great for... Well, I know the feedback that I receive is obviously we have some fantastic international players that hit our shores and hit our local courts, and the fact that their families can see it back home wherever they are. Obviously, a lot of them come from the United States of America, but the fact that they can just, send a quick message and say, hey, I'm on it X time on X social media platform, they well and truly embrace that.
100%.
As we're back underway, Hildebrand for 3. That one just rims in and out. Ellsworthy looking for a teammate. They've been sharp on the whistles thus far, just making sure that they're keeping this game intact and not out of control, because I thought that was probably great hustle from Jenna Anderson, but there may have been just a couple of slaps on her wrist.
Oh, look, these two referees have refed a lot of the Big V finals. Have done a great job all throughout, so you trust them to go and get more correct than they go and miss, so they've done a great job.
Viola Tama going straight into Collins, step back, that one just back rim. Jenkins looked like she spiked that out of bounds. It's going to go with the Devils. There's going to be a discussion between the two officials, as we see on the replay screen there, 50-50 ball. And it's going to go in favour of the Thunder.
But again, you saw there, as we spoke about, whether this is going to be, as much as it is a team effort, and Werribee definitely go and play, extremely disciplined team basketball. And that's not to say Keilor don't. Keilor do as well. You still see out of the timeout, Corey going and trying to isolate X on Collins to try and get the most out of that mismatch.
Here's Bandolowski into Collins with the left, bit long. Great box out there from Allen.
And off their first action, they execute it so well.
Violet Tama, the drop off to Allen. That one is swish. She did not think that was going down.
And that did not hit anything but the net.
And that was as perfect as it could have been.
So it's been brilliant to go and see Max, who probably struggled for a couple of weeks with her shooting and her confidence with her shooting, to the last 2 weeks be as good as you could possibly hope.
Ellsworthy out and running, 2-on-2. Stops at the free throw line, just long, tries to hustle for the rebound. Bowman takes it out of her hands, however. Bowman, great find, just tip ball. And it's double tapped, and it's off Hildebrand.
But again, it shows the multifaceted game that Bowman has. Running currently at the 4, being able to go and take the ball off the rim, come down, transition. Find someone with a no-look pass with her offhand. I mean, if we can get more players like that, that'd be very, very good.
Absolutely, it would. We love to see these types of players out on the court. Ellsworthy, 2-man game inside with Jenkins. Harrison guarding her closely. Inside, handle's been lost, tipped out from Bowman. And it's
there we go.
Circus shot from Georgiatowski.
As I said, big-time player. She finds a way to get it done.
Weaves her way through the Thunder defense with the shot clock winding down. Bowman gets the pick from Anderson. Now she's in the paint. Nice drop off. Blocked by Violet Tama. Bowman straight back at it though.
And again, that's where you see, we went and spoke about Jenna Anderson, how well she cuts off Bowman's drives. It was a great defensive play by, I can't remember if it was X or Nudie, but, great IQ by Anderson.
It's an offensive foul picked up there on the Devils. It's Violet Tama's 3rd foul, which is somewhat important in this contest. Grace, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Corey's choosing to go and leave her in, which personally I think is a good idea. If she fouls, and you can adjust. But if she doesn't, you're just wasting time of her being able to go and play.
Well, it's all about that trust, isn't it? He's got faith, he's got trust in his players to say, look, you've got 3 fouls, you know what you can't do. And I have faith in you that you're not going to go out and pick up your 4th foul very quickly.
Exactly. And honestly, it also shows the other way as well. Not all the teams would be able to have their head coach go and leave and have an assistant come in and be able to function at that level. But the amount that the girls go and trust in Corey's ability, it says a lot for him as a coach and this group.
We just had the same thing happen on the Keilor Thunder side. You just saw on the replay screen Alexis Harrison, the hard foul on Alicia Jenkins. She's picked up her 3rd and she's straight to the bench.
Again, each coach has a different opinion on those sorts of things. Some like to go and keep their players for the last quarter where they feel that it means most. There's no real right or wrong answer with coaching. It's more of a feel than a science.
Absolutely. 5-point game in favour of the Devils as we are winding down slowly in this opening half of Game 1 of the Championship Women Grand Final. It's been an enthralling contest thus far. And here's Ket Bandolowski, thinks about it, gets Violet Tama in the air, now a runner. Gets her own board. It's happened time and time again so far in this half. Hildebrand with the left off the glass, that one's a touch long. And there she is again, Jenkins cleaning up the defensive rebounds and then throwing one away. Just as we try to talk someone up. The broadcaster's curse time.
Exactly.
And time again. Time out on the floor, the Werribee Devils. They lead 35-30 with just under 4 minutes left in this half. We're going to jump in to one of the huddles here. We're going to see the Thunder on screen. Tom Bandolowski just getting the troops, but here's the Devils.
Again, Corey's got such great communication style with the players. It's just it's not authoritarian, which some coaches can traditionally be. It just speaks to them like they're people, and the players really respect that. And it seems like Tom is doing the exact same thing with his Keilor players.
Well, we've got a break in the play. Sporting is the official ball of Big V, providing Victorians with the opportunity to play more basketball More often, Spalding will make you a true believer of the game with a vast range of products to suit your needs. Head to spalding.com.au/basketball-Victoria to shop the new range. Change basketballs at the beginning of this season. By all feedback, a lot lighter. And there's been some very positive feedback coming through from both players and coaches this season. And we'd like to thank Spalding, the official provider, an official ball of Big V and all Basketball Victoria competitions.
Werribee going back to their 2-3 zone again.
Here's Ket Bandelovsky. Swinging the ball around the perimeter. Long two, Bowman.
Honestly, I know it's something that Corey definitely spoke about during training. You know, this, as much as everyone goes and talks about the defense of Keilor, I don't think enough's talked about their passing ability. They led the league in assists this year, but the way they can zip the ball around and find, you know, the most open player is really quite phenomenal. And it is a testament to Coach Bandelovsky for the system that he's put in place.
Some more front court pressure has earned the Thunder another possession with the turnover.
And that's the action they've got to watch out for. You know, Ket went and killed them on that last time, that little get action where they throw it. Player comes off trying to go and get it back. Yeah, Werribee need to go and sharpen up their defense on that one.
Grace Funston doing her best on the offensive glass as well. She nearly gave them another possession, but the jump ball arrow did not go their way. And once again, Maddie Borg steps out of bounds. That's the third or fourth time so far in this half that there's been an uncharacteristic foot on the line and it doesn't move.
No.
I'm telling you, as much as people would like to tell you, which they don't, the court does not move.
No, it's the same on every stadium. But again, I think that's just, as much as you have some big players, you know, I know there's a great level of competition between these two teams, and you know, just players trying to go and get their feel for the game.
Funston out to Ket, bottom of the net, and we've got a tied ball game on our hands as we're closing in on half time. Allen getting around Ket.
Great move.
Nice move, just doesn't go. Bowman the rebound. She'll be looking to run. Ket long to Bandelovsky, fumbles. And there was no room for error there.
Not at all. But again, it shows again, you know, how well Keilor can go and can go and get into transition. He puts so much pressure on the defense if it's every single possession.
Tell you what, I think turnovers will become a critical factor coming into this second half. It'll be a key talking point when both teams go to the rooms. Bowman, one-on-one with Ellsworthy, tries to cross her up, has an off arm. Now Ket tapped away by Jenkins.
Yeah.
10 on the shot clock when the Thunder get this ball back in. Timeout, Tom Bandelovsky.
And that's what we spoke about before. You know, Bowman's ability to go and get right, wait till someone overplays, and she has the quickest crossover in the comp to go and get it back to her left hand where she can go and try and make a play.
A brilliant contest on display here at Eagle Stadium. Game 1, 2019 Championship Women Grand Final Series of the Big V. 35 apiece. These two teams, second and third respectively throughout the regular season, deserve to be here. They only dropped 4 games between. They dropped 4 games each with a 14-4 record. As we take a look at some of the highlights throughout the opening half, there's Bowman, just far too easy. I think she's the one that heats up. We saw it just a couple of plays ago that with the mid-range game. You touched on it before that she can do a little bit of everything. There it is, that mid-range jumper.
Yeah, she started 0 from 4 from the game, but she's hit her last 4, so she's definitely catching fire. We're going to have to go and figure out some way to go and slow her down.
Ominous signs, in my opinion, with Erin Bowman heating up. As I mentioned, just 10 seconds left on the shot clock when the Thunder get this ball back in play. 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the half. It's the Devils and the Thunder.
Here comes, oh, great cut.
Bowman, tough. Just a couple of picks, and Erin Bowman finds herself near uncontested under the rim. She'll be closing in on double figures. She may have eclipsed double figures.
Yeah, she's out to, I believe, 15 points.
And there it is
15
again.
Points on that.
Sarah Ellsworthy out of bounds. 15 to Erin Bowman, leading the game. Heating up. They've sent Maddie Borg to her to provide a defensive assignment, and quickly she's picked up her first personal.
That's going to be a tough matchup for Maddie on the block. So it seems like they're going back to Max Allen now, but even still, there's definite size mismatch here. Here comes the same play. Bowman back cut.
Down, up screen. There's Bowman again. Oh. You picked it perfectly, and it's just the other side. It's a bunny miss by Erin Bowman.
Very uncharacteristic for her.
Here's Viola Tama. Just picking up the scraps. Into Moody.
Great kick.
Back out. Borg.
Oh, great block.
Blocked.
Man.
This is what the Thunder want. Just some transition basketball up and down. We haven't seen it a lot so far tonight. The ball swinging around. Bandelovsky trying to get it into Anderson. Can't. No look pass from Bowman's too long.
And I don't think Tom's very happy about that one on the sideline.
Winding down the half, just 60 seconds left. Here's Pisano.
Offense has dried up for the Devils a little bit here, so hopefully they can get something going.
Here's Allen. A high pick and roll with Viola Tama. Step back, had that look. Viola Tama for three.
Wow,
there's
that's
the
their
offense.
first basket.
Just cleared out, two-man game at the top of the three-point line. Work to perfection. Bowman back inside. Takes some contact.
And Corey's going to go and use his last time out.
The Thunder with the lead.
Honestly, if you want to go and see a player go and take over, the fourth quarter of the Sunbury-Werribee game was the X show. Alexis Viola Tama, sorry, my apologies for the pronunciation, was just on another level. There was nothing she could do wrong in that game. It was absolutely brilliant.
If you want to check out that fourth quarter masterclass, jump onto YouTube. Werribee versus Sunbury Big V Championship Women. Search that, you'll find it. Head to the fourth quarter. And you're going to have to take Mason Rogers' word for it because it was a takeover.
I believe she finished the half with only 2 points, but finished with 18, and I wouldn't be surprised if almost all 16 of them would have been in the last 5 minutes. But honestly, both her and her, like so many of these players, have just been fantastic, especially giving back to the junior program. Sam Moody assists one of our teams. Sarah Ellsworthy, head coach, has one. X goes and assists. Jenkins goes and does so much work with, domestic teams and Aussie hoops, trying to go and help out that way. It's just been absolutely brilliant people to go and have represent our club.
Very inclusive in terms of helping out the Devils program.
Viola
Tama back-to-back trays. Puts the Devils back in front as we close in on half-time. This will be the final possession, barring nothing goes wrong for the Thunder. Here's Anderson. Finds Collins
great duck
inside.
for Collins.
Tries to use the left. That one was pretty. Can they get a quick shot off? No, they can't. That will be the half-time score, and we are locked at 41 apiece. Half-time, I want to chat to you about Sarah Ellsworthy a couple of times. 41 apiece, 10 minutes on the clock for the second half. We have had a very, very pretty and gritty first half. The referees have been right on it. We've had a perfect game. It hasn't got too physical. It hasn't been up and back, which probably would suit the Werribee Devils because they wanted to reduce that run and gun. We just saw it a couple of times as we sort of ended the second quarter. But Sarah Ellsworthy has been handling the ball a lot tonight. She's a great facilitator. She hasn't been dominant on the scoreboard. But you mentioned that she's helped out. She's an assistant coach, she's a head coach of some of the junior programs. She is a very busy lady. She is working full-time with South Australia, Basketball South Australia, and she's also studying occupational health and therapy. Is that correct?
Yes, that is very, very correct. I'm not sure where she finds the time to do all of it, but honestly, you cannot go and question her work ethic. She's in the gym every single day working hard. She's taken one of our junior teams and they've improved. They are in the finals of the MUVJBL, which is fantastic. And yeah, it's honestly, it's just like same thing with Jenkins and X. You know, they're just the people that you want around their club, you know, around your club.
Well, it's funny you say that. Obviously, it's something that every association looks at in terms of not only their Australian-based players, but certainly the international-based players. And it's been a shift from maybe 5 or so years ago where they've just focused upon, we want the best on-court player. And certainly in Big V, they've gone, look, if we can get player X from the United States and they just dominate on court and we can have every opportunity to win a championship, that's what we're going for and that's what we're paying for. But certainly the cultural shift and that managerial and administration shift to say, look, that's an important piece of the puzzle, but we're looking for the culture of the person, we're looking for the off-court and what they can do for our association in addition to playing some great basketball.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, Reese Potter, our player and coach development manager, who runs our Big V and our junior program, honestly, that's been something that he's been so big on. And, you know, the amount that he's been able to do to go and change the culture since he's been here. And you see it, you know, this group's come up from Div 1 women. He's recruited great people first and then great basketball as second. And, yeah, it's meant the world to our junior program. And clearly they've been able to put a great product on the floor at the Big V level as well.
And obviously we're here at the Championship Women's Grand Final, but the same can be said for your men's program as well. Obviously, retention's obviously become a big thing in Big V as well for your restricted players. And Connor Coulis is a returnee, and that's a big part of it because of his off-court stuff.
100%. Like, Connor is down at school clinics doing Aussie hoops, everything that he can to go and help out. And it means the world, especially for a lot of young kids who, you know, are just looking for a role model. You know, he provided that for so many young kids in the Wyndham area. Alicia Jenkins is the same. If you go to our Facebook page, there's so many great photos of all the juniors running up to go and congratulate her first because they think that she is the bee's knees. Honestly, it's been brilliant for this club.
Erin Bowman's obviously a returning player for Keilor as well. You look at their men's program. Chris Carber's stuck around in the country as well. Obviously, his first season at Keilor. But then you look at guys like Casey, Brandon Polk, Raheem Lemons have stuck around. Dylan Stith from McKinnon. There's a host of female players. Courtney Doover stuck around at Sunbury for a number of years now. Orla O'Reilly's returned. So retention of your international players has become just as important because there was a real sort of Ferris wheel for a number of years when it came to some international stars where it was one and done per se, but it's certainly becoming more and more prominent that these quality people but also quality players are coming back and wanting to play in our country.
Oh, I think it's also a testament to the to not only Australian basketball but also Australia in general. Like, so many of the imports go and say how much they love their experience here, and we can put a good product on, and it's fantastic.
As we're at halftime of the Championship Women's Game 1 Grand Final Series, it's 41 apiece between the Werribee Devils and the Keilor Thunder. Let's take a look at some statistics from the opening half. Erin Bowman has dominated the half for the Keilor Thunder with 17 points, I must say.
17 points, 7 rebounds, has 2 steals, a block, an assist. The list just goes on and on for her.
Anita Bandelovsky may not be shooting the ball extremely well, but she's certainly making her presence felt on the glass, especially as a rebounding guard.
Yeah, and she's been fantastic. She's gone and finished with 4 rebounds at the half, all 4 offensive. But the thing with Bandelovsky is that as much as the shots may have not dropped, they're all been high percentage shots. So I'm sure Coach Bandelovsky is not disappointed with that at all.
Looking across to the home side, the Devils, they've had a vast array of scorers, and it is led by Alicia Jenkins.
As we've come to know, Alicia Newey-Jenkins can go and score in a multitude of ways and just makes her presence felt. She's only shot 3 field goals but got 8 free throws, made all of them. And it's a great testament to her. She's unfortunately this week has been in bed with the flu the whole week. So for her to go and show up, put on this performance and hopefully it continues in the second half. I'm sure Coach Bandolowski doesn't hope it continues in the second half, but I do. It's a great testament to what a competitor she is.
52% the Werribee Devils are shooting from the field as a team. We mentioned Alexis Harrison, the 3 personal fouls. Alexis Violatama with the 3 personal fouls. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out for the remainder of the game as players make their way back out to the floor to commence their second half warm-ups. We've just got under 4 minutes before the second half kicks back into gear. If you're waiting around and you're wanting to grab a drink or grab something to eat before this half kicks underway, you can also check out the Championship Men's live stream that's happening on the Big V Basketball Facebook page between the McKinnon Cougars and the Hume City Broncos.
You could, but I don't think it'd be as entertaining as this game.
But, exactly, when you've got a high calibre cracking 41 apiece game, I'm not sure we'll have many viewers going absolutely anywhere.
Also, I know Big V loves to go and do their little statistic thing for the week. Just a little weird statistic at the end of the Sunbury game last week. It was tied apiece, and then Werribee came away with the 3-point win. So could that be 2 weeks in a row?
So you're calling potentially that the Devils may secure a 3-point victory here tonight?
I'm saying it's possible. A lot of things are possible, but that is one of the things that may be possible.
But if it does happen, it works in with last week's result when the Devils were tied at the half and obviously advanced to play in this 3-game series, which commenced tonight right here at Eagle Stadium. You're on the Basketball Victoria Facebook page. Thanks for your company. Speaking of Basketball Victoria, and One Australia are Basketball Victoria's official partner for apparel and footwear with a long and proud history in basketball. And One has a total focus on the game and the people within it. And One has top-to-toe product offering, so there's always something available, whether it be for yourself or your squad. Visit and1.com.au for the latest And One apparel and footwear. What are we seeing, or what are we going to see in this third quarter that's going to prove very, very tactical and could potentially see one team run away with this contest?
I honestly think that it does go and come down to the point guard battle. I think Ket versus Sarah, which one can go and really stamp their
authority on the contest?
Exactly, they're the words I was looking for. Both players are big-time players. Both have had reasonable first halves, but probably not first halves that we've come to expect, but there's still a lot of time left for them to find a way.
What is Sarah Ellsworthy's stat line at the half? Because she's been prominent in the game, but probably not on the stat sheet, I'd feel.
So Sarah's currently got 5 points on 40% shooting. She's gone and finished with 4 rebounds, 3 assists, but 5 turnovers, which she'll need to go and clean up. Has 2 steals, so that makes up for it a little bit. But yeah, that'll be. I'd go and say that that's going to be where the decider is in this game.
Averaging 18 points per game, 4 rebounds and 4 assists, shooting at 43% from the field this season, Sarah Ellsworthy. So can have a little bit of improvement to come in this second half if you're looking for a start to have a turnaround. Obviously, Jenkins, Bowman, Harrison, even Maxine Allen's been good. Georgia Tauschke's been very good on the defensive end.
Yeah,
we can say. I've loved Daniela Pisano's activity from the 3-point line.
Honestly, you can't question Danny's work ethic. She constantly works hard and everything. And again, it's very, very good. You know, you see she gets down transition. She hit a great 3, which is fantastic for her. And hopefully we can go and see a little bit more of that in the second half.
Second half about to get underway. As you can see there, we're deep into the Werribee huddle as they make their way out. Sam Moody, the drinks carrier, as you can see on screen. That's
she does everything. Everything, Sam Moody.
Add that to the resume.
Exactly.
It'll be the Keilor Thunder that get proceedings back underway here. Eagle Stadium, Game 1, Championship Women Grand Final Series. And it is deadlocked at 41 apiece.
UCLA rips green. Oh, that was open.
Tries to find touch late and ends up being a touch long by Erin Bowman.
Great contest.
Ellsworthy over the screen. Violetama. There's an overload on the far side of the court. Tauschke. Time running out. 4 seconds left on the clock, I should say. And she recognises that and goes straight to the cup and gets fouled.
Yeah, Georgia puts so much pressure on the rim. She's so physical, can go and get downhill. Is great at getting back into the body, which makes her very, very, very hard to officiate. And Bowman picks up probably one that she'll be a little bit annoyed at.
First possession of the half ended up being a very scrappy one for the Devils. Probably something that wouldn't please Corey Michailidis.
No, I'm sure he went and spoke about it at the half, but again, if he can go and keep the girls just focused and calm in this possession, I know he's got full faith in this group that they can go and get it done.
One of two for Tauschke. Here's Bowman. Anderson nearly forgets to put ball to the floor. Into the corner, Kett for three. It was a good look, just didn't drop. Violetama out and running. Bounce pass is too far behind Ellsworthy. And those turnovers are starting to count up for the Devils.
Exactly, a lot of waste opportunities right now, so hopefully they don't come back and bite them by the end of the game.
I feel as though the game's being played on Werribee's terms. It's a very slow sort of tempo. We've seen a couple of times the Thunder want to get out and really push the tempo and play their pace, but they've just struggled to be able to do so on a consistent basis. Harrison straight to the rim, that one rims out. But I feel Werribee's probably got the advantage.
Yes, I was really forward. Coach Michailidis let me come down in his training throughout the week, and I know they spend a lot of time working on their defensive transitions, being fantastic tonight, bar a couple of live ball turnovers, which is very hard to run defensive transition against. But yeah, I think Corey would be happy with where they are right now and would feel comfortable.
Alexis Harrison picks up her fourth personal in that last play and straight to the bench, and the communication between coach and player was not a pretty one, as she'll sit down for the majority of this third term.
Oh, so she had so much to their game in terms of her athleticism, her ability to contest shots, get in transition as a five. You know, that'll hurt them.
Unorthodox play there from Jenkins, nearly losing the handle, then having to put something up quickly, and very contested from Bowman. Here's Anderson trying to find a cutting Bowman. Had the lane, back to the basket, didn't realise it. Bandelovsky for three.
Whack. As you said, she loves playing Werribee.
4 points per game more compared to her season average in the three contests that she faced against the Devils.
It's an interesting matchup. Hildebrand versus Jenkins. Will be interesting to see if the Devils go and try and attack that.
There's Allen, short. Jenkins trying to put one up against the tall timber down there. Here's the Thunder out and running. This is what they want. Bowman thinks about it. Out to Hildebrand, cutting. Bandelovsky.
Honestly, you've got to be so on top of your quarter-court defensive principles against this team, because as soon as you turn your head, there's a back cut. Great pass.
Jenkins with the finish off the nice find from Ellsworthy. This game just starting to heat up a notch. Here's Kett trying to take her player straight to the basket.
Great defense by Sarah.
Hits the bottom of the backboard and bounces straight out of bounds.
As I said, Reese Potter's just, emphasised from day one that we do not want to go and give up fouls, and you can see how well Sarah's going to take to that, just getting her hands out, forcing Kett to go and make a play.
Another turnover by Sarah Ellsworthy. However, just then the double team came quick, and she probably had that split-second opportunity to make that pass. And as soon as that went away, she was in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Watch good. Again, that was the difference maker when they played. Here comes the back pick again for Bowman. Devils finally made the adjustment, which I'm sure Coach Michailidis is happy about. But yeah, that was the difference maker. They just forced Werribee into, I think it was 20-something turnovers, and had 32 points off turnovers last time. Oh.
Owen Kett A little bit too aggressive there, trying to find her way to the basket.
This is a very fun matchup to go and watch, Kett versus Ellsworthy right now. They are two elite competitors who just are loving playing against each other, I'm sure.
Here's Allen. Kick out. Tauschke for 3. Spot up.
Oh,
it was a good look. Violet Tama just plucks that one mid-air.
Give it to me.
Jenkins.
Oh, that's going to be tough to go on guard.
Great find. The high post 2-man game. Jenkins to Violet Tama. Finish with the left. They have a 2-point lead. Kett out and running. Bandolowski for 3. That one doesn't go. Jenkins the rebound.
And I think both teams go and show potentially the progression that Big V women's basketball start seeing, where instead of having traditional 5s, they're a lot more quicker and athletic players that can go and run, perimeter and post. Obviously Harrison can do that in for Keilor. Duva for Sunbury, she's so skilled. I think that's where we're going to potentially see the Big V women's basketball go.
Yeah, it was a hard fall from Erin Bowman there, as you see on the Sportscast replay. Synchronised falling from the Thunder, but it was Bowman that took the majority of that contact.
Jesus.
She's up, thankfully, and looks okay. You touch on, the modern day 5s that are more athletic. They can stretch the floor, becoming more and more perimeter shooters at a higher percentage. It's the way the modern day is going. It's inside or it's outside. It's nothing in between.
Exactly. I think we've gone and seen a slower progression in the female game than we have the male game, but I think we're starting to see this in Big V basketball now.
So the Devils have once again opened up a 4-point margin. Here's Bandolowski trying to weave her way around Maxine Allen and then just throws one into her bench.
Admittedly, the girl on the bench was open, but I don't know if it was quite her range. It's going to be interesting. The Keilor's already in 4 fouls, whether that goes and comes to bite them later in the quarter. Whack, and there's Georgia again.
Tauschke wide open in that far wing.
So I know Coach Potter's gone and done a lot of work with her footwork, and it's just really paid off this season. She her shooting percentage has gone through the roof, and you can't leave it that far open.
Bandolowski finds it easy to go past Allen, but Tauschke was there with the switch. Now Bowman searching, step back for 3. That one's short, was blocked, and a little bit of the elbow is what Jess Baker has called. You check that one again. Not a lot you can see from that angle.
Admittedly, the ref had a much better angle than we did, so trust her call.
Certainly lucky from Erin Bowman's case, because I don't think it was the highest percentage play to make.
No, I can't say that any coach is potentially wanting their players taking step back 3s, but Werribee had a great possession. It's unfortunate to go and end it on giving a shooter 3 free throws.
Halfway through this third term, you got a 5-point margin to the home side. Jenkins, the handoff to Tauschke. Looking for the next one. Ellsworthy doesn't deliver, but Violet Tama with the nice pump straight to the bucket and one.
And you can hear the Werribee crowd getting into it. They were so loud in at Sunbury, so hopefully go and see them starting to go, Jesus, just the athleticism. It's and again, just such a phenomenal person, puts in so much work.
So Violet Tama for the extra. There's Werribee.
There we go.
Back out to that 8-point margin which they had in the second term.
Here comes their get action. They played really well against Werribee on.
Catch straight to the cup. Assignment lost on the switch with Jenkins. Here's that early pressure trying to come again. Nice bounce pass from Violet Tama into Jenkins. The foul, just couldn't get that one to go.
And I think that's a big adjustment that Coach Michaelides made in the first half when they went and got through the press and they went and had numbers. They kind of slowed it down. They tried to go back into execution. It looks like they're trying to go and get a little bit more pace in the game, which could lead to this run being extended.
Just seems the Devils have a nice feel about when to push, when to slow it down, and Keilor is just playing to the Devils their opportunities, because I obviously said in the second quarter that once the pace sort of got high, I would have said Keilor would be pulling back into the margin, but it just seems to be so opportunistic by the Devils, where they've had that couple of options and they've found Jenkins or Violet Tama right under the bucket for the open layup.
So I know Coach Potter communicating to the team from New Caledonia, and also Coach Michaelides. It's been the same thing the entire season. We're just going to focus on what we can do, and the rest will take care of themselves. Also there you go and see Bowman again with that quick crossover. She's so hard, right? Quick cross back to the left. She's so hard to defend.
Bowman up top.
Great pressure by Ellsworthy. And as I said at the start of the quarter, X-Wen didn't have a great scoring first half, but she's now up to 11 points. Oh, that would be kickball, yeah. I'm not sure you can go and catch the ball with your feet, but
well, there was a lot of hustle. It was tipped away from Alan Kett, and it ended up just being scooped between her legs, as you can see here on the Sportscast replay.
Oh, but honestly, again, as you said, you cannot go and question her hustle. She is, just like Georgia Towski, she's a big-time player and just makes winning plays consistently. Oh, Jesus.
Nearly a wayward pass from Violet Tama to Ellsworthy, but it gets away with it. Here's Tauschke. Moody presenting inside. Violet Tama decides against the handoff.
You go and see the...
puts the offhand straight into Steph Collins' stomach, and she'll pick up her fourth personal.
Yep, it'll be interesting to see. Yep. Coach Michaelides is going to take her out.
And we'll see Maddie Borg straight into the game.
That's an unfortunate play there for the Devils.
So this is interesting. We've got just under 4 minutes left in this third term. Alexis Harrison missed the majority of this third term with her fourth, and now Alexis Violet Tama with her fourth. So some key personnel on the sidelines and on the bench for both sides. Here's Bowman cutting, slashing. Great finish with the left.
Strong.
It's exactly why Keilor lead points in the paint throughout this season. Moody. The right hook.
Sam Moody.
Baby hook. There it is.
Showing a bit of soft touch around the rim. Again, another player that's, was in the finals 2 years ago with Sunbury, against Sunbury when she's playing Bulleen, so I'm sure she's feeling comfortable in this environment. And she hits the floor there. As you said, the commentator's curse.
Well, Bowman tries to get one going. That one didn't. Devils just trying to up the pace a little bit again here. Ellsworthy with the left, trying to get over Collins, but she just did enough to affect the shot. Jump ball is called. Anita Bandelovsky will return to the contest for Steph Collins.
It'll be interesting to go and see how now that Keilor is going to a smaller lineup, whether Coach Michaelides looks to go and isolate Alicia Jenkins, whether it be the low post, the elbow a little bit more.
Here's Ellsworthy trying to take off a double screen. Tauschke gets around her opponent.
Great pass.
Drop into
Great
Moody.
drop.
And her drop step is good, and we've got a double-digit lead. The Devils making it really tough for the Thunder in this third term with just the 9 points thus far.
And again, you can see, you probably can't see on the live stream, but Coach Michaelides constantly coaching his players after, whenever they feel there's a bad call or anything, of just next play, we're just focusing on us, and, I think it's really worked to their benefit this game.
Thunder just trying to buy a little bit more that they asked for there. And it's another cheap turnover. Jenkins goes baseline, takes on one, takes on Jenna Anderson the second, and it forces Tom Bandolowski to call his first time out of the half, because we have a 12-point margin in favour of the home side. The Werribee Devils fans are up and about. You can hear them through some of the effects mics. This is the biggest lead of the contest thus far, and we talk about basketball is moments and there's runs. This one is arguably the most important run of the contest thus far.
Well, as a lot of coaches go and say, the third quarter is the championship quarter, and the Devils have just looked poised and found the right people in the right spots. Obviously a long way to go, and this Keilor team's experienced enough that, I'm sure they'll go on a run at some stage. However, it's definitely a good sign for the Devils.
It's been those moments, just the change of pace from the Devils during this run, that saw Ellsworthy just drop one off to Viola Tama wide open inside the paint for the easy layup. The second time it was Viola Tama to Jenkins. They're the killers for the opposition, because when you can get easy points, get the scoreboard ticking over. The Thunder's only had 9 points in this third term. They've got a lot of questions in that huddle, as you can see there on screen, with Tom Bandolowski talking to his troops. And they're going to need to find some answers quick.
100%. On the point of easy points, it's something that Coach Michaelides prides himself on. Is he, constantly emphasises that we win the easy points battles, the offensive rebound putbacks, the transition baskets, free throws. They're the ones they want to go and win, because in these games when you've got two highly skilled teams, that can be the decider.
62 plays 50.
I wouldn't be surprised if Keilor go back to their 3-2 zone their 1-3-1 zone right now.
Just a slight confusion in terms of which way the teams were going.
Corey tried to get away with the cheeky one there, but
Absolutely.
Unfortunately it didn't go as planned.
Bandolowski, high pick from Anderson. Bandolowski gets around her opponent very easily and ends up forcing some help defense to foul. That one's on Tauschke. As you can see there, some of the cheap hands.
Fortunately, the second side on the rotation. But again, just as you went and alluded to at the start, Bandolowski just has a way of finding the bottom of the net, whether it be in transition, 3-point shots, getting to the free throw line. She's just a flat-out scorer.
She does do a great job to get to the free throw line, especially tonight. Hasn't converted on certainly as many as she would have liked throughout this contest.
And here comes the zone.
Tauschke sends Borg away. Now Ellsworthy back to Tauschke. Had her feet set. Borg throws one up with the shot clock winding down. That doesn't go. Bowman out and running, but the Devils defensive transition D, as you mentioned earlier, has been excellent. 4 players back there. Kett throws one up.
Another great rebound for Jenkins.
Cleaning him up.
That's 10 for her now.
Borg out and running. Ellsworthy missed her. Gets Tauschke set. Doesn't fire. That would have had the Devils crowd up and about as we wind down this third term. Here's Kett trying to find Bandolowski, trying to get their stars going as well. Bandolowski and Bowman. Bowman's been quiet in this third term. Here's Hildebrand with the left.
Another rebound for Jenkins.
She's cleaning them up, Alicia Jenkins.
And that's where not having Harrison, it really hurts. She's such a good rebounder. She's so athletic.
Collins and Harrison on the bench at this point of time. fact, we'll see Alexis Harrison check back into the game for the final 50 or so seconds of this third term. She sat for about 8.5 minutes. So she will be fresh, she'll be eager, but she can't be too eager.
It'll be interesting to see if Coach Michaelides looks to go and try and isolate her, try and pick up a quick foul. Although potentially in the zone it might be a little bit hard.
Hildebrand gets this contest back into single figures as we have a couple of possessions left in this third term. The Werribee Devils lead 62-53. Is Borg just finding a little bit of difficulty. Ellsworthy had Tauschke in the corner, couldn't find her. Moody tries to half throw one up, half find Jenkins. It's gets tapped out.
4 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Here's Ellsworthy finding a backpedaling Jenkins. 3 on the clock. Tauschke with the shot clock expiring, and it's in and out. She's had a couple of those so far tonight. She's been very good for the Devils on both ends of the floor.
And she's still shooting 50% from the three-point line, so definitely not going to complain about those shooting numbers.
Tapped away, Ellsworthy.
Oh.
Was it blocked
No foul?
from Bowman maybe? That one's a foul,
definitely
however. Bowman getting into her teammates a little bit, trying to ask for some effort, some energy from her side.
And that'll be 3 from her.
She felt like she was the only one back there for a little while as the three-quarter time siren also got in the way of that play. So certainly from the broadcast position, we didn't hear the siren go. So maybe they're going to have a discussion about either with when the siren went or how much time will be put back on the clock, and I think it's going to be the latter.
Honestly, it does amaze me with all the technology we don't have that our clocks we can't just plug the numbers in. I reckon that is an idea that Basketball Victoria should look into.
Well, it's certainly something there because obviously you've seen the professional leagues can do it. Obviously the NBL, we've seen that you just put it straight back on the clock and there it is. Not sure what type of technology is required.
Although if anyone does go and use that, I expect 50% royalties on it, so get in contact with me.
So we're stoppage in play here because we're just making sure the timing is right for whatever may potentially happen after Georgia Tauschke's free throws.
As you had mentioned, Bowman just, asking your teammates for a little bit of support. It's so uncharacteristic of Keilor. They have prided themselves on outworking every single team in this competition this year. I'm sure it'll be a discussion point at three-quarter time for them to try and get back.
So we're going to have half a second remaining on the clock as Tauschke has 2 at the line.
Coach Michaelides putting faith in his shooter, not lining anyone up, getting ready for defense, trusting that Georgia can sink the free throws.
I mentioned both Collins and Harrison on the bench just a moment ago. It's because Collins also picked up her 4th foul not too long ago, and the half a second expired without much happening. We've got a 10-point ball game on our hands. It was an excellent quarter from the Werribee Devils, as you touched on. The championship quarter just gave up 12 points to the Thunder, who just look at it a little bit rattled to me. We saw the on-court frustration just then by Erin Bowman to try and rally her troops. Obviously, Tom Bandolowski will be doing the same thing during this three-quarter time break.
100%, and it's so hard. The Devils have 4 really good bigs. They can run quite large, so especially only shooting up 8, when both your bigs are in foul trouble, it puts a lot of pressure on you as a coach.
Alicia Jenkins leading the way for the Werribee Devils, but there's a number of role players on the stat sheet right now after 3 quarters.
As you said, Alicia Jenkins, 18 points and 11 rebounds already, putting together a great double-double, which has been her bread and butter the whole year. Georgia Tauschke has 12, X has 11, and on top of that you have multiple other players with above 4 points. On the other hand, as we've said, Bowman has been phenomenal all game. 21 points, 11 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block. Has just been everywhere. And Bandelovsky, although the poor shooting night so far, still has found a way to get 11 points.
Well, there's 10 minutes left in Game 1 of the Championship Women's Grand Final for 2019. We mentioned at the very start of the broadcast that the Keilor Thunder only brought 8 with them tonight to suit up. 2 of those are now with the 4 personal fouls. Erin Bowman has 3 herself. Could that come into play late in the game? Obviously, if the foul game comes into play with only a couple of minutes left, if we've got a tight contest and they're needing to stop the clock.
I definitely think so, especially in regards to if you go and watching the game last week against Sunbury, the Devils did a fantastic job, as you even see on that play, of just isolating key players in mismatches. And I think that what you might go and see is they look to go and attack that to go and get some of these players out of the game.
I mean, obviously we're not privy to some of the information surrounding some of their players, but I found that interesting, certainly walking in and seeing the Thunder roster come out with just 8. I thought, you hope that doesn't come back to bite them, and we're looking at a situation where 2 players are in foul trouble, obviously Bowman with 3, but she'll be very tactical to make sure that she stays on the floor for as long as possible.
Exactly. She's a big-time player. She knows what to do. I'm sure she'll find a way to be effective without worrying about that.
Well, basketball is a game of runs, and the Keilor Thunder are going to need one in the first half of this 4th term to see them in the game, and that could be exactly what they asked for. Alexis Harrison, the offensive board, straight back up, 2 points and the foul. That one on Sarah Ellsworthy.
And that's the thing that you go and miss when Harrison gets in foul trouble. She's such an elite offensive rebounder. She's elite in transition. Really helps that team play the style they want.
Nearly 10 points and 7 rebounds per game this season, Alexis Harrison. Season high 15 boards, and she can collect them in a hurry.
And she's up to 10 points now. The Devils done a good job keeping off the boards. That's only her 2nd, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if she nabs a couple in this last period.
Here's Borg, Jenkins, Tauschke. Ellsworthy popped from Jenkins, top of the 3-point line. Just a little bit long. Kett, good box out.
Great rebound.
They'll be out and running. Here's Harrison. What can they muster up now? Margin is 7. Kett, Bowman, 2-man game. Ooh. There's a wayward pass to Anderson. 3-pointer up. Bowman, that one's long. Team rebound, dribbles out of bounds. Jess Slade check into the game for Sam Moody. The contest it could be just the calm before the storm here, I could be feeling, because
yes, definitely.
It's just settled down a touch. The Devils making sure that they're playing at their pace. But anything can happen in this final term. Ellsworthy looking inside, finds Jenkins on the outside. She goes for 3 again. Of 2 the last possession. Kett out and running. Bandelovsky finds herself under the ring.
That's
Missed
where
it.
they're their best, when she's getting in transition. Again, another offensive rebound.
Tries to find Alexis Harrison under the cup. Just couldn't find her trailing left hand, and that one goes out of bounds.
Maxine Allen coming back into the game.
We've mentioned that the Thunder have missed Harrison's sort of X factor out there, and now she's matched up on Jenkins. Forced 2 3-pointers in the last 2. Bowman block. Was excellent for a spot-up shooter in Tauschke, but going back, Harrison now matched up on Jenkins, forced her to shoot the 3 ball, and it just puts some confusion in her head. Not sure what to do and what way to go. Slade goes with the right hand.
Oh, that
Bowman
hurts.
Tries to collect it, fumbled out of bounds. You can see it visually. She's not happy with herself.
You can see, unfortunate way that sometimes basketball goes. Oh, Werribee didn't get this in here.
She's straight back on it. She's tip ball back into the contest, back into play.
They just look a little bit lacking a little bit of effort right now, Werribee, so hopefully they can go and fix that up, because you don't want to go and give up, a couple of easy ones and turn this back into a game. I think they're talking about the shot clock. Bowman went and tipped it, and it's staying on 14, so I think they're wondering whether it should be 13 seconds.
Well, the Devils will have their full 14 in this possession. Jenkins back to basket. Thinking about it, trying to get Harrison up in the air, getting her 5th personal foul. Turnaround jumper is long. Anderson the rebound. Here they come the Thunder, out and running. Kett head up. Harrison now finds Bowman.
I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Michaelides goes and tries to get X back in, trying to go and get a little bit of size and a little bit more scoring. Oh, and here she comes. There we go.
And speak of the Devil, you have called it absolutely perfectly, because Alexis Violatama checking straight back into the game. Great minds think alike here at Werribee.
And here comes the back pick for Harrison.
It's too long, 5-second violation. Tom Bandelovsky not happy. Keilor Thunder players slightly confused.
I do go and trust the referees on this, but I have to go and say that did feel like the quickest 5 seconds I've ever been a part of.
We'd have to go back and watch that on the replay screen in real time, but I would tend to agree with you there. Jenkins takes her man on, goes right, a lot of contact, but here come the Thunder. Bandelovsky and Bowman out and running. Great defense from Allen.
Again,
Bowman
there's
the
that
rebound.
foul discipline. Oh, they passed the ball so well.
Bandelovsky, that was a long 2. Foot on the line.
Jenkins may have gone and caught a knee to the quad on that play. She looks like she's a little bit ginger.
And this is exactly what the Thunder wanted to see drawn up, because it's back to 5, but a cheap foul by Alan Kett just sort of stops that momentum. As you said, 3rd foul. And you can just hear it in some of the effects mics. The Werribee crowd just a little bit nauseous, a little bit worried, concerned for their team that they had that double-digit lead. It's now back to 5.
Yeah, I think hopefully we can go and get the crowd back into it, because they're such a big part. They're such a big part of the game last week. So
Jenkins worried out of it by Harrison again. Violatama for 3, needed that, didn't get it. Hustle from Allen isn't rewarded, but is stripped.
Hands.
Harrison nearly stripped. Was stripped, regained it. Now she's straight line to the basket, finds Bowman. Step back, that one's good. We are in a 3-point game now.
I think also you go and find that Werribee's just gone away from getting shots at the rim. They've gone very perimeter currently, and I think that's probably not their game.
Very much so. They've been worried out of a couple of times where they wanted to have 2 feet in the paint. There's Ellsworthy once again trying to get inside, but can't. It's exactly what we're talking about.
Oh, great
there's
step
Jenkins,
through.
The step, the finish. And there's the crowd up on their feet, making some noise.
Sam Moody doing her best dance on the sideline.
And Bandelovsky tries her best to make it quick, but is a bit too keen on the offensive rebound. And they'll pick up a foul there.
There's always such a tough call as a coach to go and, both players going hard at the ball. Bandelovsky probably was coming in from behind, but yeah, that's very, very, very tough. That's her first, so she'll be fine. Hopefully.
So Keilor making their move here. It just seems Werribee are trying to regain their groove, find their mojo back. Ellsworthy.
Keilor upping the pressure on D. She's so quick.
Some horns action finds Ellsworthy open, but there's an offensive foul called, and that is on Ellsworthy. We'll have to check the Sportscast replay for that one, as we've got a great look at that. Yes, Alan Kett found some great position.
That'll be her 3rd.
The number of players on 3 fouls for the Devils, just Violatama on 4. Harrison. Bandolowski, long three, but she was set. That was short.
Great rebound by Slade.
Maxine Allen was potentially open for some transition movement there, and she's ended up finding the basketball, kicks it back out via Latama, set for three. That one was always looking delicious. Back out to an 8-point game.
Again, big-time players in here an hour and a half before the game, getting up shots, stepping up when it matters most for the second week in a row.
She's got a sweet stroke when it's on. And you saw it on full display right there, and also in the second quarter, and there's an offensive foul, moving screen against Jenna Anderson.
And now you can hear the Werribee crowd getting into it, which is fantastic.
And the momentum has definitely swung back into the Devils' favour off a couple of big plays. It's all about moments. We've said it before. The Violetama three followed by the Anderson offensive foul there.
And Violetama is just, again, another person who's really experienced in playing in big games, played at USC in college, but represented the USA in the under-17 and under-19 comp. So she's used to these moments.
And she's got a heat check there. That one was probably not warranted, but a little short, a little flat. Would have had the house.
Yeah, I think this place would have
Up and
erupted.
about. Bandolowski finding Anderson.
As they get action again, they're
Free
so
throw
good out of
line.
this. Sorry, my apologies for cutting you off.
That one's short. Now the Devils out and running. Jenkins inside, tapped away. Allen puts the hand up, decides, let's just settle this down. 4 minutes and change left. We have an 8-point lead, guys.
Oh, this is a mismatch.
Jenkins inside. They're all doubling down, though.
House and
Ket.
house. Oh,
Harrison up and about. Bandolowski naked in the transition,
Oh.
and she's missed.
God. Again, you talked about moments. Those things just can suck the air out of a team.
If the Devils are able to score here, this could put a dagger in them. Allen.
Ellsworthy for the rebound. Oh,
Ellsworthy. How's the hustle between Ket and Ellsworthy?
and they called a foul on Ellsworthy.
Teammates go to both players, but they've done a great job so far, the officials, but that one was probably the first time where I thought maybe that was questionable.
Yeah, but as we said, we've said it all night, these two players are absolutely competitors, and it's been an absolute joy to go and watch two high-level professionals do what they do best.
Just under 4 minutes remain. Game 1, Championship Women Grand Final. Devils and the Thunder. It's the home side with the ascendancy. Looking to go to Keilor Basketball Stadium next week, Saturday, potentially Sunday as well, with a one-game advantage.
Great defense.
Tauschke the board.
As I said, just comes up with big plays and big moments.
Anderson picks up her 4th personal.
It looks like Coach Michaelides might be going to a timeout.
Let me tell you, Tauschke definitely sold it on that opportunity. And the Sportscast replay screen, as you mentioned, timeout called. 3 minutes.
Potentially deserved an Oscar for that one. God.
Having a word to the official after that call was Jenna Anderson, just saying, well, what did I do wrong compared to what did she do right?
That's a great dump-off pass there.
Some third quarter highlights on display here. Jenkins, that was tough. Making a couple of big buckets during the Devils' run. There's definitely been some highlights in this Game 1 contest.
Oh, honestly, you couldn't have asked for a better two matchups. Like, obviously, as you said, Sunbury had been the team to beat all year, and obviously coming off 3 state championships and 2 in this comp. But these two teams have been elite the entire year. They are so competitive with each other. It's such exciting basketball for Big V to present.
Certainly some extra additional help from an assistant coach, I'm assuming, in that timeout huddle.
Yeah, so on the bench, Coach Michaelides got Liam Paul and Jessie Price. Jessie Price was actually in the playing group last year. Unfortunately, did her ACL in the elimination or preliminary final, the first final last year down in Warrnambool. So while recovering, she's decided to go and be an assistant coach. And then also has Jess Scannell, who's a used to play at Sunbury and has been a really, really, really great voice on the sideline for the Devils this year.
I was going to say, excellent vision there. You could see just the player become the coach and provide that extra help as Sarah Ellsworthy goes straight to the cup.
I think that's been the biggest addition to Sarah Ellsworthy's game. Like, she's always been super athletic and super quick, but just being able to play at a second pace really helps on that. Slowed down. Everyone thought she was probably going to pass it. And, oh, there we go. This could be... That's another one on Anderson. That's her done.
She's picked up 3 fouls in a matter of 90 seconds then. She had the offensive foul after the Viola Tama 3. She had the foul against Tauschke, and she's picked up another offensive foul, and that is her night done.
And this is what you were speaking about. Will these fouls come to bite them? You go and see now both their bigs, both with 4. And Bowman still has the 3.
And that's exactly what they're going to attack. Tauschke for 3. That could be a dagger, but didn't go. But Viola Tama and Jenkins are going to attack Alexis Harrison and Steph Collins for the remaining 2 minutes and 40 seconds because they know what's up for grabs.
And it will be interesting to see what Keilor do in these last 2 minutes because you're starting to get to the point where they're going to have to take some risks to try and bring this game back.
Viola Tama.
Oh, this could be a mismatch.
Low block,
there it
up
is.
and under, left hand there. Steph Collins, 5th personal.
She
goes for the block. Grace Funston's going to have to check back into the game. That's her night done. Steph Collins, as you can see on the Sportscast Australia replay screen.
As I said, it was something that Coach Michaelides did really well last year, was picking up key matchups and attacking them in against Sunbury. Duva fouled out last game, so he's clearly going to the same strategy here.
Viola Tama misses on the first free throw, but time is certainly in their favour and against the Keilor Thunder.
Oh, and that could be an offensive rebound.
The hustle shown there by Alicia Jenkins is what's been on display all game, all night, because it's a major reason why the Devils are in front. Viola Tama tries to step back. That one doesn't go.
And this is where Bowman's at her best.
In the open court, Hildebrand for 3. They need it. They didn't get it. Bowman taps it out of Jenkins' hands. Time running out. This is going to be a big win for Werribee if they can hold on.
We'll see how they go and handle with the full court pressure because this is what they struggled with last game. Last time they played Keilor.
Tipped away by Harrison. If they win game 1 here, technically in the season battle, it's 2 apiece, but potentially 2 games left.
Oh, 100%. And obviously the back-to-back next week. They'll go and have Coach Potter back on the floor, which will be fantastic for their preparation. But all they can do is take care of what they have to, and that's potentially what they would have done tonight.
Jenkins for 3, just can't provide that final nail in the coffin, and something to get
I believe may have fouled out there.
Something to get the Devils fans up and about one final time. You're right, Viola Tama cop one, and then just threw Bowman out of bounds. And that's her 5th personal foul. 3rd player fouled out of the game tonight.
And you can see Jenkins going and getting all the troops together and giving them some instructions before these last minute 50.
You mentioned Reece Potter returns from New Caledonia with a gold medal around his neck.
One of many.
For game 2 of the grand final next week. Corey Michaelides is 2-0, mind you.
Hey, he definitely is, but I'm sure Corey will go and be the first one to go and say that he would much rather have the experience of Reece on the sideline, and I know he's so grateful for the opportunity and the amount that he's learned from Reese, one of the, clear up-and-coming coaches in Australia.
Tongue-in-cheek, of course, but certainly Michaelidis has been a very admirable fill-in, if you want to call it that. Probably not the right term to use, but he's certainly more than that.
Yeah, he's... Look, for someone to come in and go and coach his first 2 Big V games, he hasn't coached a Big V game as a head coach before these last 2 games, and to go and have the amount of poise and confidence in his ability and trust in the team, it is, the sky's the limit for him as a coach. He is very, very, very technically and tactically sound, and his emotional intelligence is just amazing.
Just under 90 seconds remain, 10-point game. Here's Tauschke. Pick from Jenkins. Now Allen doesn't take it cleanly, and the ball bounces on that sideline once again. So timeout to Tom Bandelovsky, and he's going to tell his troops, we need to be almost perfect from this moment forward to erase a 10-point gap in just 77 seconds.
But again, look, this has been Keilor's MO the entire year. They are a team that will go and pressure you for the entire game and try and force turnovers. And I'm sure Coach Michaelidis knows that. And he's telling them, don't foul, just contest, keep doing the things that we do well. But, if any team's going to do it, I think, Keilor would be the one.
We're into Tom Bandelovsky's huddle, also Corey Michaelidis. It's been a fantastic night out here at Werribee's Eagle Stadium. The series obviously moves to the Keilor Basketball Stadium next week. And we will also be moving across to the Big V Facebook page. Obviously with the Championship Men's Series wrapping up tonight or tomorrow. I don't have the scores on me, but it may already have wrapped up. But certainly stay with us for Game 2 next week at the Keilor Basketball Stadium next Saturday night on the Big V Facebook page. Thanks to Sportscast Australia. Championship Men's Series looking like it's going to be wrapped up tonight. Tomorrow not required, with McKinnon with a double-digit lead over the Hume City Broncos. The pressure is mounting here for Thunder, and they're trying to mount the pressure full court. Here's Allen Jenkins.
Werribee again, a team that's so good at their execution that they're going to be able to chip away some time on the clock, try and find good looks.
Moody
great
step
step through
with the left hand. That is good night, Keilor. We'll see you back at your venue next Saturday night. Bowman.
And that's the championship pedigree you talk about. Sam Moody had to do it on the bigger stage already. Gives so much leadership to this group. The Devils were definitely hungry for this win, and there is another time that we've had someone step out of bounds. We're going to have to paint the lines a different colour or something for the next game.
It's a timeout on the floor, so it probably gives us an opportunity to talk about it, probably at the wrong time of the contest, but it's just become laughable, hasn't it?
Oh, it's
7 or 8 times.
Yeah, and look, a lot of it comes down to nerves and players just trying to do things a little bit quicker than they're used to, feeling a little bit of pressure, they rush up, so their footwork's not as crisp, but I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if both coaches were working on it at training on Tuesday.
Well, it's such a simple thing, and I'm sure they'll make mention of it. Heading to Keilor next week, and the Thunder have something to dig themselves out of, because they're going to go down in Game 1 tonight. Werribee will be full of confidence. Obviously, tonight they've had this amazing home crowd. Obviously, Keilor have brought a number of support staff and fans, and they've been excellent themselves, because we can see it on the broadcast side. So you guys at home probably can't see it too well, that Keilor have brought their own contingent of fans. They've been excellent tonight, but the Werribee faithful have come out in droves, and they've been just fantastic, on their feet at the right times, and they've got behind their squad when they were fit and firing.
And honestly, with the fantastic facilities we're blessed with down at Werribee, it's great to be able to use the full courts, the full facilities, bring out the big stand, having the little bar down below, you know, it's brilliant, and hopefully we can just see more and more opportunities like this.
Sarah Ellsworthy continuing to attack the paint.
And I do believe Kett may be also heading to the bench.
Ellen Kett finds herself on the bench, which will bring in the only available player left on the Pine, which is Anita Bandolowski at this point in time, with Jenna Anderson fouled out, Steph Collins fouled out, and now Ellen Kett fouled out. So I know there's only 20 seconds left, so it won't matter too much, but no available players left on the Keilor Thunder bench. And funnily enough, Alexis Harrison, who was quick to foul, she's remained on the floor with the 4 personal fouls. But here's Ellsworthy. Only a couple of possessions left with the clock winding down. She continues to attack the paint, finds Jenkins, and you can hear it on the mics. Werribee up and about.
22 points, 13 rebounds for Jenkins. Make that 14 rebounds for Jenkins, and way to go and finish out the game.
And that is it.
And listen to the crowd.
The final couple of plays pretty much summed up the night. Ellsworthy to Jenkins, it was brilliant. The crowd was up and about. Alexis Harrison, the missed layup as time expired. And ladies and gentlemen, Game 1 Championship Women Grand Final Series of 2019 goes to the Devils. Advantage Werribee, 77 to the Keilor Thunder, 64. Let's take a look at some stats. Alicia Jenkins, fantastic.
Yeah, as we said, she's been battling the flu all week, but come in 22 points, 14 rebounds. X went and had 14 points and 6 rebounds to go along with it. Ellsworthy finished with 10, Georgia Towski 12. On the other hand, Bowman was, as Bowman is every single week, elite. How good is that to go and see the juniors going and getting in with the girls?
I was just about to say, you talk about community, you talk about inclusiveness. Down at Werribee, it's right there. As you just saw on camera, we're in the centre court, and there are 50, 60, 70 young prospective basketball players in this area that are interacting with their fans, their heroes. The Werribee Devils Championship Women players. It's a fantastic sight to see.
Honestly, that's what it's all about, isn't it? You know, these girls are such great role models for, you know, our club. And I know, obviously, slightly biased from my perspective, and I'm sure every coach that, but I can't stress that enough. How much this group has, you know, impacted so many young, you know, hopefully future Werribee Devils.
That's exactly right. You can see it right there on court. They're your future players, a big V. They're your future stars. You've got your current stars. You've got the next generation. It's absolutely fantastic to see. But it's all Werribee Devils tonight. The Keilor Thunder were gallant. It was tied at half-time. The Devils made their move in the third quarter, and they did it again in the fourth when they just rallied against Keilor's one last punch. And they ended up running out 13-point winners, 77 to Keilor's 64. As we mentioned before, Alicia Jenkins, fantastic. Georgia Tauschke, fantastic. Alexis Valle-Latama was excellent as well. And they did it as a squad.
Yeah.
There was every player stepped up tonight that stepped on the floor. And they can all go home extremely happy and confident that they can do the job next week.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a tough game. The Keilor Stadium's fantastic atmosphere, so much culture and feel to that court. So it'll take a lot to go and get over them on their home floor, but again, you can only go and do what you do. So hopefully they go and feel confident after this game.
So that'll do us from Werribee's Eagle Stadium. Just repeating, next Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. Big V Basketball Facebook page. We will have a Game 2 of the Championship Women Grand Final Series between the Thunder and the Devils. But tonight, Game 1, it was the Devils 77 to Keilor 64. Steve Chalmers, Mason Rogers, been on broadcast. Thanks to Sportscast Australia, our broadcast partners, Spalding and One, Basketball Victoria. And from us, it's good night.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Great job, man. Great stuff.
A lot of fun as usual.
With that, here's Collins, finds a cutting Bowman Inside again. That one.
Go and adjust.
Ket Bandelovsky for 3. That one was set and forget.
Has been fantastic all year. Rebounds, cutting, all the basic stuff the coaches love.
Bowman
To go and see these two teams, because I think realistically, or at least from what I've watched, and they execute it so well.
by Latama. The drop off to Allen. That one is swish. She did not. Tipped out from Bowman. And it's
there we go.
Circus shot from Latama. Bowman straight back at it though.
And again, that's where you see we went and spoke about, you're just wasting time of her being able to go and play.
Well, it's all about that trust, isn't it? He's got faith. He's got swinging the ball around the perimeter. Long two, Bowman.
Honestly, teams and just players trying to go and get their feel for the game.
Funston out to Kent. Step back, had that look by Latama for 3.
Wow,
There's
that's
the
their
offense.
first basket.
Very inclusive in terms of helping out the Devils program.
there
By
we go.
Latama back to finds Collins
Great duck in for
inside.
Collins.
Tries to use the left. That one was pretty.
As you turn your head, there's a back cut. Great pass.
Jenkins with the finish off the
As
nice.
you turn your head, there's a back cut. Great pass.
Jenkins with the finish off the nice kick out. Tauschke for 3. Spot up.
Oh,
It was a
Jesus.
good look. Violet Tama just Jenkins.
Oh, that's going to be tough to go and guard.
Great find.
Keilor's already in 4 fouls, whether that goes and comes to bite them later in the quarter. Whack, and there's Georgia again.
Really doesn't deliver, but Violet Tama with the nice pump straight to the bucket and one. Sides. Here's Bowman cutting, slashing. Great finish
And
with the left. Moody. The right hook.
Sam Moody.
Baby hook. Double screen. Tauschke gets around her opponent.
Great pass.
Drop in
Great
to Moody.
job.
Cheap turnover. Jenkins goes baseline, takes on one, takes on Jenna Anderson.
Discipline. Oh, they passed the ball so well.
Bandelovsky, that was a long 2. Now she's straight line to the basket, finds Bowman. Step back. That one's good. It's exactly what we're talking about.
Oh, great
There's
step through.
Jenkins, the step, the finish. Finding the basketball, kicks it back out via Latama, set for 3. That one was always looking. I was going to say excellent vision there. You could see just the player.
Trying to find good looks.
Moody,
Great
step
step
through
through.
with the left hand. That is the clock winding down. She continues
Great
to attack
find.
the paint, finds Jenkins, and you can hear it on once again.
And Sunbury.
Violetama running the floor. Pisano, that one's good. Violetama, Ellsworthy for 3. Yes.
Wow. Really, really good job of disrupting Werribee. Not getting through their offense quite as well, but
Tauschke.
still keep getting inside. I think they'll go and find that they're able to keep getting good shots.
I think that's
I'm sure he'll be very, very, very happy with that.
Here's Collins, finds a cutting Bowman. Inside again. That one.
Go and adjust.
Ket Bandelovsky for 3. That one was set and forget.
Has been fantastic all year. Rebounds, cutting, all the basic stuff the coaches love.
Bowman
To go